Hi, everyone. Welcome to the orientation for seminar 1 for the new batch that we are planning to begin next week. Some of you have already enrolled for this course. Some of you are keen to know more, thinking about it. So the idea of meeting today is for us to get to know each other a little bit and answer all your questions regarding the course, and maybe also hear some of your questions being responded to by doulas who are already part of the doula collective, and some of them are here. So before we begin, maybe we can do like a round of quick introductions so we know who is who. My name is Neha. I'm a doula. I'm a childbirth educator. I'm based in Bangalore. And I was privileged to be in the first batch of the doula training when Divya had just started the course back in 2018. And ever since I started, I never left. So basically, I kept coming back for everything that Divya was offering as part of the training and the collective, and learned a lot in the course of one and a half year of the course, but also kept coming back for a lot of the other trainings every year with the new batches, because a large part of our learning happens through coming back again and again to the trainings and meeting the community. And eventually I said, I'm going to help you with this program, because I very, very strongly and deeply believe that it's the best. It's one of the best birth work programs, I think, that we have, at least in India. And so I feel very committed to supporting Divya with the Doula Collective. And gradually we had more amazing women joining the training and the community. And so we are about, I think, I don't remember exactly, but around 30 doulas who are part of the training. So if I am to just explain a little bit to you about the difference. So the Doula Collective is the broad umbrella. Within that, there is the Doula training program, which is what many of you are here for. So that's the official training certification program. And that is split into 3 parts, where seminar 1 is the foundation course and covers the basic stuff to get you to feel ready to start working. And this can be done by someone completely fresh, just motivated to work in this space, not having any background. You don't need to have any background to do this. Or you may be someone who is working in areas related in birth, either a childbirth educator, fitness, whatever. Either ways, it doesn't really matter, because the course kind of starts from the beginning. And for those of you who've already done some kind of birth training before, I'm pretty sure that you will see that the same information is offered from a very refreshing perspective. So you may not, even if you're learning about a topic that you're already learned a little bit about before. So for example, anatomy, many of you have studied anatomy, those of you who are, into prenatal fitness and even childbirth educators. But I think the way Divya has put together this material, it's not just about the information, but how we use the information, how you communicate using that information with clients. And a lot of it is about deepening that understanding, and which is why it's not just about sitting and listening to someone teaching you. A lot of it is about the discussions that we have in the webinars. So that's kind of the way the seminar 1 is organized. Though the topics are basic, I think that the manner in which you will learn it is quite refreshing. And I'm telling you what I have felt and believed. Seminar 2 is a little bit more deepening of your work. So seminar 2 is for people who are already doulas, as well as, of course, people who've completed seminar 1. And it takes your understanding into the next level. So we get into understanding how the subconscious works, how do you engage with clients, more deeper understanding of how the baby moves through the pelvis. So it's like the next level of being able to offer your support as a doula better. And then seminar 3 is trauma informed care, which is, I would say, the next level. Seminar 3 is actually open to even non-doulas. So we've had pediatricians, researchers attending seminar 3, anyone who works related to birth. And seminar 3 is about really looking at birth work from the lens of being trauma informed. So understanding, again, deeper levels of why are people the way they are, what really happens at a more deeper imprinting level for mothers and babies, and how can we really hold space for families during this time. So Divya will explain this much better than I do. And I think that Divya's Divya being not only a doula for like 20-25 years, also her added trainings and skills that she brings in is what really differentiates, I think, the perspective with which information is offered. So she's also a craniosacral therapist. She's a somatic experiencing practitioner. She's done a full course in pre and perinatal psychology and is a mentor on APA. So a lot of the information is brought in with an understanding from these perspectives, and which is why I mean, we'll hear from some of the other doulas as well as to why we are so drawn to coming back again and again and kind of looking at the same thing that we know in different ways. So that's kind of the doula training part of it. So while you can start, you do get, once you complete seminar 1 and whatever are the requirements of the course, you're ready to start working. There is no examination. It is a very self-driven line of work, really. No one is there to check you and test you and see how much you know and how good you are. It is completely up to you how you want to work and how much you want to learn, and which is how the course is also designed. So the course offers you the material that you need, and then it's up to you how you want to use it. And so there is no exam. Once you complete the course and you do the assignments that come with the course, which also are not exams, they are more like assignments that help you to deepen your learning of these topics, you're ready to start working. And you can do seminar 2 and 3 as you go along. Again, there are people who've done seminar 1 and said that we're not yet ready to do seminar 2. They want to take a break for a while and they come back the next year. They may want to go back to seminar 1. There are people who want to do all of 3 of them one after the other. So that is really very flexible. So when you're enrolling for seminar 1, you're enrolling only for seminar 1 first. Then you decide whether you're ready to start seminar 2 immediately, or you want to, like I said, wait for some time. You don't enroll for all 3 seminars in one go. You do it at your own pace. Some of us in between the trainings, some have had babies, some have taken a break because of that, some have taken a break because they've moved places, and that's completely up to you. So this is the doula training part under Doula Collective. There is also the community space. So the community space is more open, and it is for anyone, even people who are not part of the doula training, to be part of it. And there are a couple of things we do there. One is, of course, we have these monthly webinars. So we try and do every month. We've actually not had one for the last 2 months because we were busy with all kinds of other things, but hopefully we will be back from August. So we offer one webinar every month, which is open to anyone. It is meant mainly for doulas in the collective, but anyone can come, even people who are not in the training. And these webinars are basically topics that are of interest to us. We bring in guest speakers to come and speak. We do artwork sometimes. We do discussions on certain topics. We watch movies. So there's a movie club, which is also open to anyone, where we put up a movie that we can watch, and then we come back and discuss and review our learnings and observations from that. So that's one of the things that we do in the community. We also run a postpartum support group for mothers. So some of us volunteered to be facilitators for this group, and we went through a training to be able to facilitate this space. And that's again open and free for any mother to come and join and be part of the community. And what else? Am I missing anything else in the community space?
No, you got it. But we
Yeah.
also offer peer-to-peer support. We have a WhatsApp group. You want to
Yeah.
talk about
So
that, Neha?
correct. So the doula training, besides of course you coming in for the webinars and doing your studies, uh, we are all very closely knit. Like we meet, at least the ones in the same city, or whenever we can. We have a WhatsApp group which is extremely active, because it's a space where you have a question, you post your question, and somebody or the other is there to answer it, and then you have a counter view and there's a discussion on that. When I was in Delhi, there were about maybe 5 6 of us in Delhi. We met almost every month. In Bangalore we are just starting, so it was only Mitra and me, but now Rukmini and Shamli are here. We met up last week, and I think that sort of us, and that is up to us really. Divya is there to hold space for us, but us being reaching out to each other, supporting each other, is makes such a huge difference that's hard to explain, because it is about us really understanding what is the meaning of support by supporting each other and by offering support to each other. And that helps us to be, it really helps us to be better birth workers, because when you literally practice support with your peers first before you are offering it to mothers. And there's no class, there's no way to learn this in a class. It has to be learned through community, and it has to be learned through the way we speak to each other, and the way we empathize with each other, and the way we make an effort to offer ourselves to each other. So simple thing like, if one of us has like something happening, everyone is there to support them for that. So, and that is something that is really hard to explain, and you have to only experience that. So yeah, that's kind of broadly what it is. There were a few questions that a few people had, so I thought I will cover them before we open it up if there are more questions, because some of them may be in this list already. Structure of the trainings I already explained. Regarding the certification, so a lot of people have questions about, is the certification internationally valid and stuff like that. Now, the thing is that there is no accrediting body for any doula training across the world. It's not a medical profession, and there is no international or national governing body that is accrediting courses. Every doula training course is basically an organization that came together, created a course, and are giving certifications under their name. So whether it is Donna, which is basically originally from US and Canada, or Kappa, they started off as an organization of maybe doulas, birth workers, I'm not sure of how it started, and they started offering trainings, and they give you a certificate under their organization's name. Now, over a period of time, few organizations do become reputed, and they become known either in that country or other countries, and then they are considered to be good organizations in the sense, but there is no real stamp of accreditation that comes from the government or anything like that. So similarly, we are also offering certification from the Doula Collective. So when you complete the course, you get a certificate from the Doula Collective stating that you have completed the course, you're certified. And the question about the validity of this, again, really depends on how this organization is seen. Now, the fact is that in India, it is the first Indian doula training course. All the others that are there have come from another country. Also, I think, I mean, I can say this, that I think in the birth community, Divya is one of the most respected senior people. If she's been working in this space for so long. A lot of people know her and respect her for what she brings into the birth world. And I don't see anything better than that as a stamp of of like, what do you call it, like credibility to the course. So that's really what it is. There is no otherwise, there's nothing. I mean, you can always add the word international to any certification. According to me, it means nothing. If you are working in India, it is definitely, of course, known. If you are going to another country, they may not know what the Doula Collective is, but they can, whoever is your employer or your client, they can check back at what the Doula Collective is. We have a website, we have all details about the training, we have, in fact, going forward, there are some ideas to have associations with other organizations as well, so that there is some kind of a further credibility that we get. I hope that answered the question. Divya, if you want to add anything, you can do that. Otherwise, I will just run through the remaining questions.
No, actually, other than Donna and even Kappa, not many people know abroad, but other than Donna, nobody knows. And Donna stands for Doulas of North America. That's how it started.
Yeah.
And so they just became a body because they kept standard of care. Now, usually people want to see our curriculum, what we do. So everything is recorded, and for sure, we are quite transparent. In fact, the details of our curriculum are openly available on our website. So if anybody wants to do a reference check, then by all means they can. If they want to speak to anybody, we have a directory which lists numbers. So it's nothing is hidden or has to go through me or Neha. Anybody who wants to do a ref check can go directly to our website, directly talk to the students, directly see our curriculum. And that way we are pretty transparent, because I think that we hold ourselves to a very high standard. And anybody can come to communities, anybody can interact. So there's nothing hidden about the Doula Collective. In fact, it's all out there. And I think that's our biggest credential.
Absolutely. And in terms of, I think the format also, those of you who've explored the courses offered by Donna and Kappa, it's quite different. So those organizations typically offer a 3-day kind of a training where you attend an intensive 3-day training where they cover everything that we are doing in seminar 1. They do not actually get into seminar 2 and 3. It's the curriculum of seminar 1, which is your basic doula skills, communication skills, all of that, anatomy and all, is done in 3 days. And then you have to do your own studying, reading, attending births, and I'm not sure, maybe write an exam or apply. There isn't the kind of what we felt, and why Divya has designed this program differently is because trying to learn and absorb that kind of content in 3 days is almost impossible, is what I have also done the Donna training, and I attended and I enjoyed it. It was good. But honestly, you do it and it's very good when you're there, and then you come out of it and you're like, okay, now what? Like, now what do I do? I don't know anything. So which is why we said, no, it cannot be like that. It has to be spread out over several weeks and months, where you do little every week, and you have the time to digest that. So like you do a 1-hour webinar, and then you have 1 whole week to digest that, maybe do some extra reading, pre-reading, think about it, maybe ask questions to your colleagues in the batch. That's really important. And then you come back and you do the next one, and then it adds another layer. So the learning has to happen step at a time, one step at a time, and give you the space to be able to digest that information and assimilate that information. Because it's not just about shoving in the information. That information has to get assimilated in the way you see things and the way you speak, and that happens through interactions in the community. So that's one really big difference, I think, in the format. And the other thing is the fact that what was I going to say? I was going to say something.
We have no recertifications and membership fees.
Correct. Once you have done the training, you are a doula for life. You don't need to come back and recertify and stuff. Yes, some of us will take a break. Some of us will come back. And which is why I said it's about you and what you want to do with your work. There isn't a need for you to prove that you are still a doula. And why we are so closely knit is because we all hold each other up to our standards of ethics. It has to be self-driven. And when you see everyone in the community behaving or being a certain way, in terms of the way they work and their own self-driven ethics, you are inspired to be that way. And we feel that's enough. Sitting and learning ethics in a class is not the way you work ethically. Also, the training is, once you're part of the community, you are actually able to come back and attend trainings that you have already enrolled for any number of times. So those who have completed seminar 1 now are welcome to come back and join you guys for the webinars that we are doing. Sometimes people who have completed seminar 3 come back to certain courses in seminar 1. So the trainings are available for you continuously once you are part of the course. So if you've enrolled for seminar 1, you can come back to seminar 1 every year for the next 5-6 years till you want to. And that's a way for you to again keep coming back, keep learning. And sometimes it's amazing how it's a topic that you've already done, but next year when you come back after having done a few births and you're listening to, like, either a topic on doula skills or a topic on communication, suddenly something new starts opening up in your head and you're able to see things differently. So that's the other big, I would say, advantage, because otherwise in any other training, you go, you attend the training and you're done. You can't go and attend the training again next year. But because this is online and because there's smaller groups, and at least so far we're able to, I don't know, maybe in a few years, the group sizes become big.
सुरजीत को बोलना जरा अच्छा मेरे
But-
सामान तो उसने गाड़ी भी रख दी है.
And
I
also
think one thing we will do is keep the groups smaller.
small. In
Yeah.
fact, many of you would have noticed that we are not a typical corporate organization.
Marketing team.
It is just Divya and I am helping her how much ever I can. So we are not so professional in that sense. We don't have fancy brochures and whatever it is. That is because we want to keep it that way. We don't want it to become a corporate organization. We want it to be a community of passionate birth workers. And so there will be a little bit of rawness to it, but we feel that is life. That's life. And that's how
personal to it.
Personal, yeah, it is personal. And that's how birth work is. So yeah, I think these were kind of some of the common questions. If anyone has anything else, please go ahead and ask. And after that, we'll do an round of introductions with everyone.
Some of the people on this group are already doulas or in training. And you can ask questions directly to them.
Maybe you guys introduce yourselves first. Suma, Megha. Sonia has just come. Go ahead, Suma.
Sonia's here as well.
What happened?
Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. Welcome to this wonderful program that Divya and Neha are doing. I joined this course in the last batch. I was working in a midwifery center and I wanted to know some content to talk to the mothers, but then at the end, almost the first seminar is coming to an end, and I'm so glad that I was here. The energy is very positive and contagious, and Divya passes on her knowledge like, it is just free for all kinds. And somehow now we are equipped to answer basic things. At least I'm so glad that I was here. You'll enjoy the journey, and as you're walking through it, you'll understand what it actually means to be a birth worker and how this course will equip you with whatever knowledge is required. Thank you.
Thank you, Suma. Megha, Sonia. We just want you guys to introduce yourselves to everyone here. Go ahead, Sonia.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Sarah. So good to see you. Yeah, so yes. So basically this course, this program teaches you how to support when you get immense support from your mentors, from your colleagues. And that really shows you the true meaning of support in a non-judgmental way. And definitely the information, the way we communicate, all that is I think the USP. You evolve as a better person. You evolve as a supportive human being, and when you feel supported. So when I remember the support you feel in this with Divya, with Neha, you actually feel so supported that you're really willing to give that support to others in a non-judgmental way, and I just love that.
Sonia, I asked you to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself also, no?
Okay. I was just so
Tell
keen
everyone
to
who
just
you are,
say,
where you are, what you do.
yeah, so basically, Neha, I'm just so always in awe of this energy of this group, the energy that I've gathered from Divya and you. That I feel like and every day, whenever I'm talking, I feel I'm thinking about you two only. So, okay, I'm Sonia Ved. I am based in Faridabad. I am a childbirth educator, birth doula, a prenatal yoga instructor, and also a lactation counselor. And
So many things that you forget. You keep forgetting yourself.
हाँ मैं सोचती हूँ कुछ नहीं बोलूँ फिर बोलती बोल देती हूँ
Infant massage.
yeah, an infant massage teacher. So basically pre and post support service that I am offering to the mothers in short.
And she was in the second batch of the
Second
doula
batch.
training. Yeah.
Yeah, this is in the second batch.
Thanks, Sonia. Megha.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you and welcome to Doula Collective. My name is Megha and I'm based out of Noida. So I do cater to Delhi and NCR. And I would just like to say that as much as this course is a professional journey, it's also such an inward journey because during the entire course, you'll understand and realize that, how what support really is and what it means when you are in a community where sisterhood is given so much importance, and you'll understand that how each one of us is there for each other. So all in all, I think it's a very beautiful journey, and you're all in for a very exciting period ahead. And unlike Sonia, I'm only a birth doula. I don't do a lot of work, and I was in the second batch of the Doula Collective. Thank you.
Thanks, Megha. Divya, do you want to say anything, or shall we just do a round of intros?
I think we'll do a round of intros. I think you've covered it all. Yeah, thank you.
I've been listening to you all these years. So. Okay. Who would like to begin? Sneha, you were the first to enroll, so maybe you can introduce yourself first.
So thank you for that acknowledgement. Hi, I am Sneha Bakkal. I am from Mumbai. I am an early child educator, and I am also a birth village mom. So that has got me here. Since I've been doing my pre-readings, which I got before joining, you need to read or watch videos, and all the emotions are here. I'm telling you. And while I was pregnant, I birthed my son in 2021 in pandemic at birth village, and throughout the process of pregnancy, I was like very positive. So I could, Divya ma'am used to have these short, Tuesday sessions, lives with one of her friend, and I used to hear them. And I was I was at a this gynecologist sitting for my routine checkup, and I was seeing every lady there is so tensed. She's just don't know. She's just busy with all her reports and stuff, and I am sitting there for 2 hours. Literally 2 hours at a gynac, waiting for my turn, and I'm listening to Divya ma'am like this, and I'm so relaxed. I was like, wow, look at others and look at me. And that was the moment when I got this instinct feeling that she is not the care provider I want to. And I was so happy. I'm joyfully jumping and going to my husband after waiting for 2 hours and saying, because I had heard her sessions, the Tuesday ones, and I was so soulful and enjoying my decision of not being with her and then choosing birth village. So all these things are coming. I'm so excited. So as I said, I'm mom of 2 sons, and I'm teaching phonics to toddlers, and I love this work. I've seen all these people, I've heard them. If not, I've taken personal training, but I've heard them while I was pregnant. So I wish to pass that energy to all my pregnant sisters, or whoever wishes to birth the way I've birthed. So yes, as my birth has instigated that feeling in my community to give birth naturally. So 2 of my friends have given water birth. One is going for a home birth, and so I do believe in the power of sharing. And I find myself that if I do this doula training, I'll be more powerful and would be giving more wings to my sisters. So that's all about myself. Thank you so much.
That's lovely, Sneha. Thank you so much. And that it's exactly that quality of presence which Divya has, which we are all drawn to and try to learn. And that's not something that's easy to teach, which is why we all need each other to be able to learn that together. It's not something you learn in a class. Thank you. Who wants to go next? Rukmani? Jayanti, you want to say something? Go ahead. No, you can. It's okay. If anyone needs to leave soon for some reason, you want to say something first? Okay. Go ahead, Rukmani.
So, hi everyone, this is Rukmani here. I'm based from Bangalore. I'm a childbirth educator, prenatal yoga instructor. So, I did my childbirth certification. I completed my certification recently, and actually, I'm more passionate about the doula. So, I'm looking forward for exciting things from Doula Collective. So, yeah.
Thank you, Rukmani. Divya, do you want to just say something before you go?
I do, actually. I'm quite overwhelmed. I've been busy with my work, and this is all Neha's labor of love. I'm very grateful for that, and I do want to say that. I think if we were to take time and appreciate all the gifts we have, we would find ourselves very happy and content. So I don't want to miss this opportunity to thank you. And it is a mutual club, but I'd still like to say it.
Yeah, we have one mutual admiration society, as some of you have already seen that.
So for all the people who ever said, and doubters who said that strong women cannot be friends, we beg to differ. I mean, I've met Neha in 2017, 17, yeah. And I think there isn't a week that goes by that we don't talk at least once. I will share everything from personal to professional. And not only is it wonderful to share a vision this big with her, but to have somebody to lean on, to support you is extraordinary. So thank you.
Thank you. Divya needs to go. That's why she.
I have guests at home.
But so we can continue. We can continue with our intros. Okay, who wants to go?
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, Jayanti.
Yeah, myself Jayanti Ramesh Kumar. I'm from Erode. It is a place in Tamil Nadu, and I'm a perinatal trainer. I'm doing here for past 15 years. I'm in this field. So I completed the certification in CAPA for childbirth education, and other kinds of like lactation supporter courses also I did. So just to update myself and to be in this field, I'm choosing this Doula also. And I had a doubt related to the certification. You cleared it in a very better way, because like the certification is alone is not an issue. What we get support throughout, and what kind of updates we get, that is what is important, I feel. So as you told, you're not like all other corporate sectors or something like other like all colorful kind of online people, and you're ready to help. That is what I think we need to help other mothers also, because learning is a thing like where we can get informations, but kind of support from the our own mentors is what is required nowadays. So I'm happy that I can get it from here. And related to Deshwal, ma'am, I met her few years back. So where I admired her, all her stuffs, like all her knowledge, everything. So I was chasing her to get connected with her and to do courses. And I'm happy to be in this part. That is what. So I think it will help me a lot in my profession to go ahead. Right.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Jayanti, for sharing that, and look forward to seeing you. And I think just wanted to add one quick point here is that I feel that while it's a doula training course, you may use this information differently. Not everyone who's done the course is actively working as a doula or offering doula services. Sometimes it enhances your work as an educator. Sometimes it enhances your work as a fitness trainer. Sometimes
as a birth photographer.
There we have a birth photographer there who did it because when she's in the birth room, she's like, I don't want to click pictures not knowing what's going on. And if I'm here anyway, I should be able to support the mother. And she did it for that. I don't think she ever wants to be a doula. She just wants to, she's just interested in being part of this space and the community and learning. And I think the other place where a lot of people have reason why they have not done it for this reason, but it's helped them, is that it actually helps you in your personal journey as a mother, whether you're having a child or whether you have children. I've seen that, I mean, I can speak for myself, and I know it's true for many of us. We see ourselves as better parents after we are able to understand birth better and, understanding our birth experiences better. Those of us who've already had children, it gives us an opportunity to really process our births and dig deeper into why are we really doing this work. And
I was about to say that.
And sometimes you realize that you don't want to do this work after doing the training and realize and introspecting on these questions. And there are people who've done the course and at the end of it felt that it was more of a personal journey rather than a professional journey. I mean, in retrospect, it may not have been the intention, but sometimes it does happen. Anyway, go ahead, Divya.
Hi, Megha. First of all, I have a question. I joined lately, so I'm afraid of blood and flesh.
Your screen froze. Say that again. It just broke in the middle.
I'm afraid of seeing and dealing with blood and flesh. How can I go through that?
You can. I mean, there are different ways of working through it. One is that maybe your fears need a space to be processed. Okay. And it may change. Or you may recognize that this is my limit as a doula, and I will support mothers till this limit. Beyond this, I cannot handle it. So you don't know right now how it will go. Maybe you will be able to deal with it. Maybe you may identify this as each of us have our own personal boundaries and limits. And which is why every doula is different. The where we will work, how we will work, the manner in which we will support mothers will vary for each of us. So I don't think that's a problem. If you're approaching it with an open mind, see where it takes you. See where the course takes you. Yeah, who knows?
I'm Divya. I'm a childbirth educator, and me and Jayantika are friends for past 5 years, and we are traveling in the same track. She's my most senior. I learned a lot from her, and we have attended the World Breastfeeding Conference on 2018. FFM conducted that conference. We met Divya Deshwal ma'am there. So then we followed on that every Tuesday live like that. We both are a very great fan of Divya ma'am actually. And then why I choose this course is I just want to be in the moment where the human is coming out of another human body. I just want to explore that. I want to learn it. More than helping the mother, I just want to know what is happening there. As an educator, I can understand only few things, but I want to go deeper. Anything and everything, I want to go deep into that. So I just want to go deep into that moment and immerse myself in that moment and enjoy that and cherish that.
Yeah, which is why I said you don't know where this course will take you. Maybe it is not to become a doula. Maybe it is something else, and that's fine.
This morning I told to Jayantika, like even if I'm not practicing as doula, because I have 7 years of old kid, so I can't leave him alone and go and help the mothers. So maybe this will make me stronger as a childbirth educator. I can understand more to explain to the young mothers. That is my thing into that. And I want to share a picture here. And this is, can you see that? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a very 4x6 feet poster in my center. Already I had it in my reception in my center. So now I came to know why I'm into this course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Divya. Who wants to go? Madhumati. Shamli, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. I am Shamli. I am based out of Bangalore. So I've been a data analytics consultant for the last 7 years, and I quit very recently last month to get into this birth work field. I'm a mother of a 15-month-old little girl, so you'll keep hearing her noise going forward. I'm pretty sure. So my birth journey and experience is what brought me into this birth world after being in the IT for so long. I like through my pregnancy and the postpartum phase, I learned a lot. And when I stepped out and discussed it with my colleagues in office or with my friends, there were a lot of unknowns. People didn't know a lot of things. So the minute I shared it, and it is more about education and empowering those women. So someone in IT more experienced, but they were not aware of any of this, and they were still blindly following what was told to them. I thought maybe something is needed at that point. Like even though we have Google and a lot more things, I think we need that right kind of support, and I felt doulas are the perfect support needed for any pregnant women. So I think I messaged Doula Collective around January, and I think by that time the first batch had started. So here I am, all set. Divya, just like how Neha was relying on Divya 2018, now I'm just relying on Neha, just going to hold her hand and go along with her wherever she takes me. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks so much. I think sometimes it's hard for us to describe in words why we are doing this, because it's not always a very rational, thought through kind of a choice. Something draws us to birth work, and whatever it is true, and it's hard to explain why. People ask you, why are you doing this? For the sake of answering, you will say something, but the reason is actually usually deeper. Thanks, Shamli. Look forward to seeing you.
So, hi everyone. So, this is Madhumati, and I've been a prenatal fitness trainer for the past 3 years. So, I'm just into this birth field to educate my mothers, because I was aware of everything, but still I wasn't aware of accepting the birth. So, I couldn't come out of my depression or something because of what my birth takes. My birth took the different path, so I was not accepting it. So just want to say that to other mothers, I just came into this field. Now it is becoming quite interesting, and even I'm kind of mixed feelings, like whether I will be able to see the blood and flesh everything, but still I'm not very sure whether I'm afraid or whether I'm going to. I'm not afraid, or I'm not sure about it, but still I'm in the. So, though it's not like, as Neha said, it's like I don't know whether I'm going to be a full-time doula, but still I can give in a better way of information to all my mothers, those who are coming for my support. So I just want to give them the whole, like all possible awareness to them so that they can have a good, beautiful birth. So literally my motto is like every woman is deserved to have a beautiful birth. So as a birth worker, I just want to do that. So that's why I'm here. So good to see you everyone, and thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you'll enjoy. And like I said, you don't know where this will take you. And it's nice to go with that flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go?
Yes, go ahead, Aprajita.
Hi, I'm Aprajita. I had a doula at the birth of my second child, and I'm lucky enough that that doula was Divya. And when I compare my first birth, this is something that Divya and I talk about a lot. When I compare my first birth and my second birth, I can even see how an epidural induced birth versus a natural birth without any pain medication. The differences in the personality of my children is also visible. It's not just the time of birthing, or the type of birth. It also has ramifications in their lives going ahead. So, there is stuff, beyond the birth process as well that we have to be cognizant of. So that was one of the things that attracted me to the course a lot. Plus, I've always wanted to do birth work ever since I had a doula, and I have been in touch with Divya on and off for the past 6 years since I had my child, and finally I've gotten the opportunity to learn. My goal is definitely to be an active doula and birth worker and support women, because when I got that support and needed it, I realized how important it was. I realized, like, for me, Divya is nothing short of like a second mother, because she really has encouraged me to do this course and supported me. And Neha also like has reached out to me personally also when I needed it. So I already have a bit of that community feeling. I know Shamli, I've spoken to Sonia before. So I already feel, very comfortable, and I feel like not only will this help me be a birth worker, it will also help me as a parent of two children. It will also help me, kind of process my own birth experiences, and thus it will help me be a better support for my.
Thank you. I know you, but everyone else doesn't. So introduce yourself also to everyone else.
Yeah, I'm Rajita. I am working in freelance content writing now. I have two children. My son Krishna is 8, and he was the one who was born with a medically assisted birth. And at the time, I didn't know, for example, that active labor doesn't begin until 4 or 5 centimeters. This is a little known fact. Nobody knows it. You go to the hospital, the doctor tells you, "Oh, you're two centimeters, kind of dilated. Get admitted immediately." And so I had this baby then who could not latch, was weak, who was losing too much weight, and is still quite a reserved child. And my second baby, I did not feel, honestly, I did not feel pain. I did not feel anything except discomfort. And when I reached the hospital, I had planned a water birth, but they were like, "Aapka to bachcha nikal raha hai." So, but I had that successful experience of my birth plan being respected, of having my doctor respect me, wearing my own clothes, playing my own music. She even checks me with her cell phone torch because I requested different lights. So, as a parent, as someone who is writing in the field of birth, pregnancy, motherhood, breastfeeding, postpartum support, I just feel very, very lucky to be a part of this community.
Thank you so much. Sarah, you're left. I think it's just you, yeah.
Just me. Hi, my name is Sarah. I am a PhD student from the United States. I'm doing work on efforts to improve women's childbirth in India. I've been kind of connected with Neha, and I've had the opportunities to meet Divya and Sonia and some others before, actually a long time ago, before COVID. And I've come back, and I wanted to take this course because I thought it'd be really important to learn from doulas, what being a doula is all about. Also, like, I'm just now making my mother-in-law extremely happy by like starting to try to have a kid. So I'm like, this will probably really be beneficial. And she'll stop being like, do it before I die, because she's totally fine. I wonder if anyone can relate. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. And I'm always so humbled by everything I read and everything I hear. So I'm very excited to like, you know, get to learn and be a student in this way. This is a really cool opportunity and I'm really excited about it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Anybody has anything else? Yeah, go ahead, Nirosha.
Do I have to introduce myself?
Oh, yes. I forgot that you were left. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Nirosha. I'm a childbirth educator and infant massage trainer. It's a transformation from my motherhood to birth educator. After my birth, I started exploring all the options. Then after my second birth only, I started prepare for getting certification for childbirth educator. Initially, I started looking for doula courses in India, but I couldn't find it. I have one question. It's more than a skill, it's more than a hands-on skills, right? How can I learn those skills in online?
So honestly, those skills you will learn on the job is what we have realized. So the classes will, of course, cover the training part of it through the webinars, through videos. But two things. One is, like I said, in person, meeting people in your city who are, which is why I was asking. So you're in Coimbatore, Madhumati is in Coimbatore. We have some of us in Bangalore. Mumbai, I don't think there's anybody else right now. But in local cities, we meet and we practice hands-on skills with each other. And all this you can do, and of course, Delhi has many people. So I'm not even saying Delhi. Delhi has many doulas, and that's because Divya is there. But we do also want to, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to. But the idea is to also try and all get together at least once in the course of all three seminars. So do one sort of get together, come hands-on training. So hopefully we will plan for that either end of this year or sometime next year. So maybe around the time you'll are finishing seminar 1. So yeah, these are the ways in which we can do it. But most of us did the training online. And we feel quite comfortable, I think, because see, the training orients you to be able to look at things correctly. And then you go ahead and use your hands. So it is not like there is some particular technique that you need to learn. It is about an understanding of both the physiology of birth as well as the psychology of birth. When you understand the physiology and the psychology, you are able to use your own common sense when you are there, when you're actually there during the birth. So I think it's doable. But having said that, yes, there is a value in in-person meeting, and we have to do it however we can. So locally as well as maybe one get together. And Divya also has been traveling. So like Delhi, of course, there are, she's done meetups. Her daughter lives in Bangalore. So she comes to Bangalore at least twice in the year. So we are planning to do a few hands-on meetups, trainings and meetups in Bangalore. And maybe if, there's a conference in Chennai or somewhere or in Coimbatore, along with that, we can plan one for the people who are around that region. So we'll have to kind of take it as it comes. It is not a fixed part of the course. The fixed part of the course is through the webinars, but this is something that definitely we are going to incorporate to whatever extent we can. Does that answer your question?
Can I add something?
Yeah, Sonia.
So Nirosha, you will understand the physiology and psychology of birth, and you will start looking at things differently as you do now. And when you will be in that, so this is what I feel. So when I was practically in a situation, it gave me a lot of questions, and then we used to sit. So all of we did was online mostly, and we had our discussions on what we experienced, what we saw, and how did we feel. So it's a learning process. You are you are actually evolving by learning all this. So don't worry, it's not a magic, just like Neha said, that you will learn, need to learn some technique, how to support. It's a feeling. And
See,
even, yeah.
No, and the fact is that any doula training, any birth training that you do the training, you've learned all the information. When you go for your first birth, no matter how much you have studied, you will feel like, I studied so much, but I don't know what to do. What do I do now? You will have that
It's a
feeling.
whole different perspective that you get.
Absolutely.
Completely flips your views.
Yeah. And what do you do in that situation? You call up your colleagues, your friends. You say, this is what is happening. What do you think I can do? You have some suggestions.
Yeah.
And then they help you to deal with it. And then you somehow go through that birth. And then you have a actual reflective practice. So you have a discussion with some of your colleagues, friends. This is what happened. We did this. I don't know if it worked. Maybe we could have tried that. The mother was saying this. That discussion, that reflection on what happens helps you to learn something. Then you go for your second birth and you feel prepared, but that birth is absolutely different from the first birth. Okay, nothing that you learned in the first birth you will use in this birth. It's a completely different scenario. And then again you feel like, okay, now I need to figure out what to do. And then you figure it out using what you learned, using support from your colleagues. And then you reflect on that birth and you say, okay, what happened here? I thought this will happen, but this happened. I thought this will, this is what will help, but it didn't help. And then you do that process, and that process takes you to a next level of learning. And then the third. So the real learning happens when you apply what you have learned and you gather this sort of discussion and support from your colleagues to your birth work. And then eventually after, I would say 4-5 births, is when you start getting a hang of it. This is my experience. I don't know. Some people may feel after 1 or 2 births. Some people may feel after 10 births. I personally felt that 4-5 births is when it's like, it's completely new. Even after that, it's not like it. Even now I go to a birth with little bit of nervousness sometimes, because you never know. Every birth is different, and you cannot really anticipate anything. Every person is different. So it is about your mental orientation. And I think where Divya has amazing skills is that we ask her a question. Sonia knows what I'm going to say. You ask her a question, she will reply by asking you another question or asking you the same question.
Or is the question.
Because, are you saying something? Okay, I just muted you because there was some disturbance. So you ask her a question and she'll say, what do you think?
Yeah.
Or, she'll make you think about it yourself. And so the learning is not about what your mentor teaches you. It is about what your mentor makes you think or makes you learn. And that is something that is doable even with a distance. The meeting is more for us to have fun together.
Have fun.
And that we can do whenever we can.
Okay.
Were you saying something, Aprajita? Because there was a lot of disturbance.
I was saying it's always questions with Divya, because I think what she aims to do is to also get you to reflect. Why have I asked this question? Where is this question coming from? Is it coming from my childbirth experience? Is it coming from my children's birth, my experience with my children? So I feel like the approach that you have, in this course, having been close to Divya as well, I think it's very introspective, and so I agree that even if someone doesn't end up becoming a doula, it's still very helpful because you get a lot of room for thinking. I think the online format is nice because you can always ask a question, think about it, go back to that module, look at it, and then come back. I feel like that reflective model which Divya started is very, very useful for anyone who wants to learn anything, because that woman will not answer your question till you have dissected it in your own, soul and brain.
Yeah. And for most of the questions, there is no one answer.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, if it's just a fact-based question, you can ask Google also. I mean, that's not really an important question. The more important questions do not have straightforward answers. It depends. It depends on a lot of things. And That ability to do that yourself is what you need to learn. So over a period of time, in the beginning, you need someone to help you with this. Because you have a question and you don't know what to do, and you need someone to discuss it with. And eventually you learn how to do that internally. You have a question, you pause, you think about it, and you find the answer by yourself. And that is what is the real learning, where you have figured out how to manage situations, how to, find solutions in various scenarios.
Okay. I have one more question.
Sure.
I go through your curriculum and everything. You are also the birth educator. I seen your Instagram. What's different? You can see that after can birth educator to be a doula, or really I need a doula skill. I have to learn those things, because in the birth education itself, I have learned about anatomy and physiology, all the research papers and everything. I will come across that. But is there any other than the hands-on skill? Is there any other thing specifically?
Yes.
Will I learn?
So I think the role of an educator and a doula are very different. There is definitely a huge overlap in the informational support part. So as a doula, you're doing physical support, emotional support, and informational support. Informational support will be similar to what you do as an educator. As an educator, essentially, you're offering information. As a doula, the physical and emotional support is not there as an educator. I mean, it is at a much different level as a doula. Your role as an educator is to help people be informed and prepared. Your role as a doula is for the mother to feel supported. There is a huge difference in these two. And so while there is an overlap in the content, the manner in which the content is delivered, the manner in which you offer that information to mothers as a doula may be different as an educator. Because as an educator, you're giving general information. But as a doula, you are being very specific to her. You are understanding where she's at, what is her emotional space, what is important for her, what are her preferences, and you're discussing the information in that context. So it's a far more personalized exchange of information as a doula. So broadly, there are some similarities in the content part, but the perspective is very different as a doula. But for me, I started off as an educator, and then eventually I became a doula. I feel I'm a much better educator now after working as a doula, because even my birth education has become so much more practical, less information heavy, and more about building safety for people, because that's what you learn as a doula. Information is of no use if the information doesn't make you feel confident and calm and safe. You're giving information and it is making you stressed out. And a lot of classes that happens, like especially I've seen hospital classes where the doctors are teaching birth education. They give all information, lots of information. At the end of the class, everyone is like really afraid. And what is the point? The idea of information is not because you have to learn something. The idea is so that you feel comfortable with what you know. And that is where the doula skills come in. So like someone was saying, Sneha was saying, when you were listening to Divya in those Tuesday lives, there's something so soothing about the way information is given. That is a doula skill. How do you talk to someone in a manner, giving them information which may not be the best scenario? So for example, your client comes to you and says, doctor has said BP is high, you have to have an induction tomorrow. Now, as an educator, you can explain what is induction, when it needs to, how it is done, blah, blah. But as a doula, you're going to offer this information, but help her to feel comfortable with the information, help her to either know what to ask the doctor or to understand that situation and accept that situation. So that is a very nuanced skill, and that is a doula skill. So it is different in many ways. Anybody wants to add to this? Sonia, Urshita?
I can tell you from my experience, even though I don't practice as a doula or anything, I've never actually been a doula. But because I'm in that space with the mother who's delivering, um, I had done about 100 births before I met Divya. And when I went after I met Divya and I started doing all this, it was just a different, I could just feel what that woman was going through. I did, it was not just my client who was giving birth or, before that, it was just a woman in labor. After I met her, after I had my sessions as a doula and all, it was a woman giving birth. The whole perspective changed. The way I talk to my clients changed. I'm a photographer. I need not necessarily interact with them. In fact, my job is not to interact with them at all. My job is to just stand in a corner like a fly on the wall and never be visible and never be audible or anything. But after I've done this, I think I truly feel that my presence is not comforting. At least there's something that that woman can hold on to. I'm somebody who she can talk to, who understands what she's going through. I'm not just another nurse or another, somebody in the hospital who's just coming and telling her, "Acha, abhi itna duration ho gaya, abhi ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya," just giving her facts. I'm not somebody who's giving her facts. I'm just there holding her hand, telling her, "You know what, you got this, you'll do this, it's all fine, even if I can't do anything else."
So it's about that quality of presence. How does that come?
Yes.
That comes
when
it's
you like
feel...
it came because I could understand what's happening now. I think everybody understands the basic concept of how birth works. Okay, there's pregnancy, there's labor, and then there's pushing, and then baby comes. That is what I always knew before, while I was being a birth photographer. It was after I did this course and after I met Divya and Neha and Sonia and Nikita, all these people, that I realized, okay, there is so much more to than just labor. There's so much more to than just, pushing and being pregnant and being in that space. I did not realize how sacred that space was. So that understanding,
specifically regarding like physical skills. Now you will learn a little bit about massage positions, all that. But tell me, you're a mother. Now when your child say is injured, what do? Do you think about what needs to be done? Or do you just respond instinctively? You respond instinctively, like you hold your child, maybe you give a kiss, maybe you caress them gently. Now, who taught you this? This is coming because you are seeing that child as, it is your child, and you feel connected and you feel that empathy towards that other human being, and therefore you're able to naturally comfort them. Now, that is the way that you should feel when you're supporting a woman. You feel so much empathy and connection with her. You feel what she's experiencing, that the physical support thing comes on its own. It's not like you're trying to remember what to do in labor. It is your learning is there at the backdrop, so that you have some skills that you can use. But what you will use comes from the way you are engaging with this person, the manner in which you are able to empathize with that woman and support her. So I don't know whether we are able to explain this. These are all such hard to explain concepts that I think we are all struggling to do it.
It's actually, it's actually like giving birth. You may know all about it, and you may have read about it and everything, but when you give birth, you realize, oh my God, so this is what it was all about. Exactly like that. I feel it is exactly like that. You may know everything, you may have read about it.
It's like your question, if I flip it, Nirosha, it's like a woman who is pregnant saying, I've attended birth classes, do I need a doula? Birth classes are different, doula support is different. So similarly, your question, I'm just flipping it in that sense. Knowing everything is one thing, but having that feeling of support, that feeling of being held and understood and heard and acknowledged and loved and cared for is different. And therefore, the training for that has to be different. It cannot be the same like a birth education training.
Okay.
I hope that answered somewhat what you were trying to ask.
I hope we did not confuse you.
So basically, Neha, I think this was all. I was always feeling like this, Nirosha, when I started with doula training. How will I support? Even though I was a childbirth educator, I didn't know how will I support, what techniques I will use. But eventually, when you understand, when we listen that what is the person this mother is looking for, then you understand what you have to offer her. And secondly, when you feel supported, and I'm saying it again because it really means a lot, when you feel supported and when you um, get that empathy from others, you start feeling that empathy towards the mothers that you are supporting. And a lot of seminar one is about understanding what are the mothers trying to tell us. So
Go
I'm
ahead,
driving.
Sonia. I was just sending a message to everyone. If anyone needs to leave, because we said we'll finish in 40 minutes, but we have it on. So if anyone needs to leave, you can leave. We're done. We're just chatting now.
It's an experience. I think I really feel like, just don't think, it's an experience that you feel, you experience while you are on that journey, and then only.
You please concentrate on the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm getting goosebumps while I'm talking.
Yeah, you please look at the road.
Yeah, please. Can I ask one more question?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. It's again, it's more mental work also, right? I'm going to see everything. I'm going to witness everything. Probably you may witness more number of births. Will it affect my personal life? Will it be traumatized for me, for about my health? If I am a more emotional person, will I am the suitable person to learn?
Yes, so birth work is very deeply personal. And when we are engaging so deeply with the women we are supporting, we do actually often open up our boundaries more, our professional boundaries. In any other profession, you are strictly professional. But as a doula, your job is to get personal, and your job is to really make friends with that person, empathize with them, and that does result in your personal boundaries being opened, and therefore you are exposing yourself to triggers that may exist. So it's very common for doulas to get triggered in births, going back to their births, thinking, reflecting on what they did, why they did, what happened in their journeys, whether it was birthing or breastfeeding or whatever. This is absolutely true, and Divya recognizes that very well, and which is why the course is designed in a manner to help you process your birth and your reasons for doing this. And which is why we said that a lot of the course curriculum is about the reflection to where you are, why you are doing this. In fact, one of the important assignments in the seminar one is actually reflective practice of your birth if you've already birthed. And understanding that well and processing that, because your birth experience is going to come up for sure when you're supporting mothers in birth. And all the more why you need a mentor and you need community to help you to process that and deal with that. In fact, as we go along, we also do talk a lot about preventing burnout and self-care, because there is a very high chance of that happening in birth work, and which is why again community is needed. You do need something. If there was a birth that really triggered you, and something happened in the birth that made you really angry or it made you really upset, you need to be able to call someone, talk about it, express your emotions, and someone who is non-judgmental, someone who understands you, and which is exactly what the community is here for. All of us do that. I mean, anyone who's gone for a birth will connect with somebody, either one-on-one or with the group, and share, because it does bring up stuff for sure. And which is why the community is needed, and which is why Divya does that. I mean, that's really her skill. She's a doula for doulas. That is what she has stopped doing doula work because she wants to doulas. And by supporting us in that manner, she's teaching us how to support mothers. Because when you're supporting a woman in labor, that woman also stuff gets triggered for her. Sometimes when you are in labor, things that happened in the past come up for you. Now, how do you support her at that time? You learn that when you feel that kind of support from your community and your mentor. So it is a very important part of doula training. It's not, which is why we are all going on saying that it's not just about the information. Information is there. We will cover the information. We will cover physiology, anatomy, doula skills, everything. But it is not about the information. It is about what that information means. How do you communicate it? How do you process it? How do you deal with these situations? That is the more important thing. And that, trust me, no other doula training that I know of covers. They're all based on information. This is not about information.
Okay.
I don't know again if that answered your question.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, when are you guys planning to start this batch?
We're starting. So the registrations for this batch are closing this weekend. And
This
the
weekend.
course, yeah. And the course is starting next week. So 10th, 11th. Once we have the registrations confirmed, then we will just check with all those who have enrolled and we'll discuss. So we usually fix one day of the week and one time slot. And every week we have that 1 hour webinar at that time. So the current batch is doing it on Thursday evenings from 7:30 to 8:30 because that was what was suitable for everyone. Depending on the group, some of us chose an afternoon slot because we were not like, we didn't have jobs. We wanted to do it when our kids were at school. So we'll take everyone's preferences of a suitable time slot and try to arrive at something which may not, the best possible option. So we'll fix a day and a time. And every week that webinar will happen on that day and that time. So we begin next week. And 24 webinars is the first seminar. So it will go on for the next 24 weeks and a few breaks. Sometimes if there are festivals or something, then we take breaks.
Hi, Nega. Will you provide the recorded sessions of the...
Yeah, so all the webinars are recorded and the Teachable portal, which is there, it will be uploaded there along with the resources. So each module will have some reading material resources and the recording of the webinar. So you can go back to that as many times as you want. However, though it's recorded, coming and attending live makes a huge difference because it is the discussions where most of our learning happens. The teaching part will be maybe for the first half an hour or so. The remaining, at least 50% of it will be discussions, this happened, what do you think in this scenario, this happened, and that's what enriches our knowledge of that topic.
And
in
then
fact,
many times, sorry.
No, going forward, the plan is that Divya is also going to start, we haven't done it so far, but we are going to pick up some of the teaching modules and put it up as a pre-seminar preview. So you should watch that and come. And then in the seminar, we will do more of discussions rather than just, listening to the presentation. That is the plan going forward.
I was saying that sometimes, Nirosha, that you get triggered while learning with your own, events, with your own birth experience, if you have had any experience that you have had. And then you really process it. And when you heal it, you process that experience and you give time to you settle that down, you really understand that, okay, this is how you can support the mama to be. But then you get the intention behind it, that somewhere down the line, your fear goes down. I don't know, Neha, I am finding myself like Nirosha ka bilkul like me when I started. How will I do? What will I do? What will I learn? What techniques? How will I remember? But believe me, it just become a part of you.
Okay.
Okay. We
Okay.
really exceeded our time for today. We usually try and be on time for everything, but it was important for us to answer everyone's questions here. So thanks everyone. Thanks to all of you who've already enrolled. Watch out for more details this week. And those of you who are considering it, let us know by the end of this week. That will be helpful so that we can decide when is the start date and time and stuff. Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks, Neha.
Thank you, Neha. Bye.
Bye.